I have a controversy regarding IELTS, and the debate and my dissension is as regards if the exam is truly an English test or an IQ test. Now, I've asked ChatGPT, I've asked AI, and the answer seems to be that it's a language test. But in reality, as an IELTS expert that have taken thousands of students over the years, and in our education system, we have found out over and over that the exam is not just about language test. If it's about language test, then people that studied English, linguistics should pass this exam more. But in paper, checking facts and figures, it isn't like this. So what is this test really about? I put it to you that the IELTS test is more of an IQ test. It tests your reasoning. It tests how you can think beyond the surface. It tests how you can speak or think on your feet. It tests how you can reason out things very fast. And when you check all the four modules, the speaking, the listening, the reading, the writing, you will see the trace of IQ test in all of these four modules to tell you that this exam is just beyond they've taught you and you've understood it and then you will pass it. No, if you are not a sharp person and or if you don't see yourself as somebody who is bright, you will not pass the exam. So the journey to passing the exam starts from your inherent ability, your thinking ability. How smart are you? How deep is your thoughts? How intelligent are you when it comes to approaching questions, approaching issues, reasoning out matters of life? For example, writing essay part of IELTS requires you to be somebody who has holistic way of looking at life, because the question will be brought up from different aspects of life. So that means if you are not intelligent, if you're not somebody that knows something about everything, you would have issues generating your point for the speaking test and for the writing test, because the questions would be drawn from all walks of life. Let's home it in a bit. Let's talk about the reading module. The reading module, bulk of the candidates that take the IELTS exam score woefully, like in at the reading module. And one of the challenges is that many of them will not be able to finish the exam under 60 minutes. They will find it difficult to solve 3 passages for academics, 5 passages for general within just 60 minutes. And that's 40 questions altogether. So that means there are some of them that will probably do like 25 questions, 30 questions, but the rest will be left undone within that 60 minutes. So what is the problem now? They have mastered the questions, they have understood how to approach true false not given, fill in the gap, multiple choice question, but they cannot process those things very fast. So what is that? What is that questioning? It's questioning the rate at which they think, the rate at which they understand things. And you will see the same student who has understood the way they have been taught will finish 40 questions within 45 minutes. So what's the difference now? This latter student understands and process it faster. So when he sees a passage, he could just read 1 or 2 lines and pick the answer. But the other person needs to read it over and over, think and think and think before getting one answer. So they end up wasting time over questions, whereas the other person just checks on few clues, it's over. He doesn't need to read the whole of the passage, but somebody needs to read the whole of the passage and read it over and over, read question like 2-3 times before answering it. So for the reading, it is undebatable without controversy that you need to be a smart person to have band 7 and above, at least average intelligence. It doesn't mean that you have to be about instinct or you have an IQ of somebody who is a prodigy, but you have to be an averagely intelligent person for you to be able to solve the reading question within the time allotted. The same thing goes with the writing module. The writing module questions will be drawn from all walks of life, from architecture, from finances, from education, from health, from entertainment, from different issues of life. So if you're not somebody who is versatile, who is deep, and who has a large heart and large interest in different issues of life, you will not be able to process accurately your point. Your point will not achieve the task for the essay. That's why you see people not being able to finish their task 2 essay on the exam day, because they will find it difficult to reason out points that can argue that essay out. So they will spend bulk of time thinking, deleting, writing, erasing, writing, deleting over and over, because they don't just seem to have points that fit the questions before them. This is very, very profound. What about the speaking part? You have to be somebody that can talk extemporaneously, somebody that can think on their feet to pass the speaking module. That's why you see a lot of candidates, they will have done a series of mock tests, speaking sessions with tutors, with IELTS expert, and still go to the exam hall and barely have 6 or 6.5 after doing several speaking tests. Why? Because when they enter the examination hall, they cannot use what they have learnt and process it uh, to solve the question that is being posed to them. Now, many of them have difficulty of thinking on their feet, of picking, getting a question just impromptu and answering it without premeditation. So you now have many students using premeditated answer, they use memorized answer, and when you use memorized answer, you will talk mechanically, you will not be natural, and your speaking test would be woeful. Because they want you to talk naturally, and for you to talk naturally, you must be somebody who has the ability to defend a question or to approach a question that is posed to you right there, without any proud knowledge, without any proud mindset that you will be asked that same questions. The same thing has to do with listening. In the listening module, about 4 things is going on. You are reading the question on the screen, you are listening to the audio, you are penning down your answer or typing it, and you are thinking at the same time. 4 intelligent things are going on. So if you're not somebody who has mastered the art of multitasking, you have been able to build yourself, build your capacity that you are not easily distracted. You have gained total mastery of your mind. You're not easily distracted. You are a focused person. If you have not come to that point, it would be difficult for you to pass even the listening test. That's why you will see candidates sitting for the exam only having 6, 7, even after months of practicing and prepping for the exam. So I cannot overemphasize the importance of you seeing yourself as a smart person, or building yourself, building your IQ and working on yourself. So what's the solution? The very first way to building your IQ is to see yourself as somebody who has a good IQ. You must be able to overcome low self-esteem. You must start to see yourself from a new mindset. See yourself from a different lens of what you have always been. Believe that you can do it. Believe in yourself. And be intentional on self-development. That is the second thing. Be intentional with self-development. Read books, listen to educative content, then get people that are smart. Like, surround yourself with smart people, even in your classes, around your cycle of friends. Get only deep thinkers. Yes, surround yourself with deep thinkers, so that you'll be able to be influenced from within and from without. So IQ of a person can be worked on. You can become the best version of yourself. So when you're preparing for IELTS, the best mindset is not just that let me have band 7. No, the best mindset is let me become the best version of myself. And as you become the best version of yourself in reading, in preparing, in being intentional to speak the language every day, every time, in gathering resources that will change your persona, that will change who you are, that would revive your thinking mindset, that will sharpen your English and brace you up intellectually. As you gather those materials, get books, expose yourself, change your mindset. Having band 7, having band 8, band 9 will just be a byproduct of that self-improvement. So this is the challenge I am posing to you. Are you about taking the IELTS test? If you're having challenges passing after you have been taught, this is not about sitting down again and say, come and teach me, come and teach me. It's about working on yourself. And that leaves me with what Galileo said. He said, you cannot teach a man anything, but you can only help him to find that thing in himself. The same goes with IELTS. Bye.